Hey everyone, it's been a chilly week here in London and a chilly week in the Metaverse and NFT markets too. Now both Mana and Sand have seen steady downward movement over the week with similarly looking weekly charts, while Axie Infinity's AXS is down too. Now interestingly, the lapse in NFT activity has meant that even blue chip NFTs like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, for instance, have seen a serious reduction in floor prices. At the time of shooting, OpenSea has the BAYC's floor price at just 72 ETH, around $180,000. Now, this is still a hell of a lot, but it's a serious reduction from the prices we saw in January that saw apes selling at floor for hundreds of thousands. Now, it's no secret that the broader NFT market has been losing value in recent weeks, and this was confirmed by a sharp decrease in metaverse and NFT interest according to search engine reports. Even the likes of Gary Vee, perhaps the most popular NFT influencer and enthusiast, has discussed the prospect of a non-permanent NFT winter. Now, to my mind, there are a number of reasons for this decrease in uptake, and most notably, the Web3 world has understandably been overshadowed by macroeconomic and geopolitical news the world over. All eyes are on Ukraine and Russia, and within the cryptosphere, on the price movements of BTC and ETH, which are, at present, responsible for setting wider market trends. However, we mustn't forget the incredible start that NFTs had to 2022 and the strong finish for metaverses at the end of 2021. Indeed, for the first time ever in December, search interest in NFTs surpassed that of crypto. January saw OpenSea and the wider NFT market's biggest ever month in terms of transaction volume, and some cool-off thereafter can only be expected. Despite headlines still being dominated by less positive news the world over, the Sandbox metaverse has now surpassed 2 million registered users. The uptake in users has been, at least in part, prompted by the launch of its Season 2 alpha. Now, Sandbox's primary game has been in the works for 4 years, and its Season 2 launch comes just a short time after its Season 1 alpha that began in November of 2021. Season 2 gives users the freedom to explore 35 virtual experiences with 200 in-game quests for players to engage in, with a prize of 1,000 Sand tokens up for grabs. Sandbox has managed to establish itself as perhaps the most discussed metaverse in recent times, despite being younger than Decentraland and having a lower market cap. It's achieved this with its host of big-name partnerships with influential individuals and organizations like Snoop Dogg and Warner Music. However, as discussed, the recent launch and growth in user base have failed to impact Sand's price amidst these uncertain times. Indeed, land parcels in the Sandbox have seen a serious decrease in value, sitting at a floor of just 2.83 ETH at the time of shooting. Now, the metaverse lead at Polygon Studios, Brian Trunzo, believes that NFTs will be everywhere in a world that adopts the metaverse. According to Trunzo, quote, "I think anything that can become an NFT will become an NFT." He believes that in the metaverse, quote, "everything within those worlds will necessarily be NFTs." Now, this makes sense, as NFTs present an effective way of denoting ownership in a world that is no longer purely physical. Trunzo also discussed serious potential with regard to the traditional fashion industry. Quote, "The fashion world is a $2 trillion economy, and many thinkers, myself included, believe that digital fashion will dwarf that someday." Now, can you imagine a world in which your avatar's outfit is more important than your physical clothing? Trunzo's assertion is lent further credence by the increased interest of major fashion brands like Gucci and Dolce & Gabbana in NFTs and the metaverse. Nike even acquired Artifact Studios back in 2021, a company geared towards the manufacture of virtual wearables. Next, Japanese company Square Enix is the latest gaming giant to expand into the metaverse. Square Enix is the publisher behind the well-known Final Fantasy game franchise, and it's just announced that it will be bringing its Dungeon Siege game to the Sandbox. This follows moves from rival company Ubisoft that has announced similar plans with regards to its game Rabbids. Square Enix owns an area of land within the Sandbox, and it will be here that players can engage with the Dungeon Siege game. And what's more, there will also be various Dungeon Siege items available for players to use within the metaverse. Dungeon Siege is a popular game that sold around 1.7 million copies at the time of shooting. However, it's dwarfed by some of Square Enix's other games like Final Fantasy or Tomb Raider. So it seems that the company is using a smaller franchise to test the waters before committing with better known IP. Most likely, it's wary of the backlash that both it and Ubisoft have received from attempting to force users to engage with cryptocurrency and NFTs. So folks, there you have it, our weekly Metaverse and NFT roundup. Though it's been a quiet month in the NFT and Metaverse spaces, there are still some very interesting developments taking place on the sly, and we hope you found some of them interesting. However, we're keen to hear your thoughts too. So, is Trinzo right in that virtual fashion will outpace the traditional fashion industry? Will there be an NFT winter? Will Square Enix effectively bridge the gap between Web3 and traditional gaming? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Now, I should also take a moment to mention some of the great deals and offers available to viewers of our various Coin Bureau channels. So check out the deals link in the description to see available merchandise, trading platforms, and more. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a great week.